big story of the day. It was Abhimanyu Mishra defeating world champion Gukesh. He's now joining Angelica in the studio to take us through the game. So, guys, take it away. What a stunner of a game.
We're so happy to have the youngest grandmaster in the history of chess here with us at the Grand Swiss, also winning against the reigning world champion Abhimanyu. Huge congratulations to you.
Thank you. Honestly, this game, I'd much rather prefer the games that I've won before. Like my game as Yu Yangi was so much better than this, because for the reason that, I don't know, I mean, even though I won the game, it doesn't feel as pleasing, because I mean I had a winning position and I basically just threw it away, and I mean later he made some mistakes and I got it back, but overall it wasn't a very clean game. It's okay.
Let's probably start with the piece sacrifice. How did you come up with this?
So this thing was in the opening, he played knight h7, which I didn't remember. I mean knight bishop g3, there's like a million lines here, like one is queen e7, b4, and now there's like all this knight d7, knight f8 stuff, or knight h7, etc. Or there's also like some castle stuff, and I mean, I think it was like a4. I mean, I checked all this stuff in the morning, like knight h7 or something here. There's many versions of this, but not knight h7 directly. And I wasn't really, because the thing is, against knight h7, you usually have different reactions. Because if, for example, if black's king isn't castled, like for example, this is a very legitimate idea. In this line that you're picking h1, h5, and okay, oh sorry, let's say h5, and you can go like I guess h3, h4. But now, like let's say in some such structure like this, black is obviously never going to castle short. He'll go queen e7 long castle, and you're in big danger. And if you try the same b4 idea from let's say queen e7, b4, a4 stuff, like knight h7, let's say if you try b4. Oh, sorry, sorry, this is just a bit. There's all like knight f8. Let's say if you just go down the main line, black is never going to play queen e7, and all these lines with h5, g4, he'll be up by a tempo, which is very critical considering how sharp these lines get.
And he went d4.
Yeah, so I decided to go d4 and sack this pawn. It's a very typical idea. He went with h5, and when I played d4, I saw this idea of going d takes e5. I mean, but the thing is, okay, he was still in preparation. I wasn't sure whether I should do it, but I mean, I decided that, okay, I mean, whether it's Gukesh, the world champion, or anybody else, if I think a move is best, I'm just going to play it.
Of course.
So I played this d takes e5 piece sacrifice. I think, okay, I mean, g4 is definitely wrong. The main line I was calculating was h4. Of course, it's the most critical. My idea was knight takes h4, g takes h4, queen h5. Now, if black plays, let's say, I mean, this castle is a mistake because if bishop takes h4, let's say he goes queen e8, I go queen g6 check. King h8, bishop f6 check, takes, and okay, I'll have, let's say, some checks, knight f3, knight f3, knight g5, and this is this is probably like lost for black. But instead of this, after queen h5, I think he should go queen e7. And this is what originally I thought this was quite nice for like bishop takes h4, queen f8. And now I was wondering about if I go e6. But I think actually after knight e5, e takes f7, knight takes f7, this is not so clear.
Maybe he's defending.
My first idea was to go e5 to like blow things up, but I think black has like knight g5.
Wow.
And this is, you lose a piece immediately.
But he played this g4 move.
Yeah, I mean, after queen f8, I mean, I thought I could play other moves like e d6, c d6, and play something here. I have 3 pawns already, but maybe objectively, I mean, the piece with this bishop on a7, maybe it's not as great as I thought it was. But yeah, he played g4. And again, this was another very critical moment, because also instead of giving up the piece, I was considering ideas like bishop h4. Let's say black goes queen d7, and now I played like knight d4. Now, like compared to the game, I thought this also kind of retains an advantage. And this is what I was debating, like whether I should go for e takes d6, which is basically like all or nothing, or I go for something like this, which will be like pleasant. But in the end, I decided that this e takes d6 because
all or nothing.
Yeah, let's just all or nothing. Let's have some fun today.
All in.
All in. And I mean, this has to be like you have 4 pawns. You have a pawn on c7. I mean, this has to be completely winning. Yes. He went queen e7. I was debating about some like queen f6 stuff, like knight takes f3, bishop g4. But there's some nice ideas here, like where you can go like e5 and like I could say queen g6 and even e6.
Wow.
You just throw another pawn, and now if f takes e6. I mean, okay, like let's just say rook e1. Now this e6 pawn is always an issue. Like white can go h3, queen b3, and if black doesn't get an attack started soon, he's going to lose. I mean, also instead of rook e1, queen d6, or there's many.
Your pawn on c7 is just basically paralyzing black pieces. Okay, so he went.
So he went queen e7, knight takes f3, bishop g4, h3. Felt logical, just get rid of this, bishop d6. Here also, I mean, there was this decision on whether I should go bishop d6 or bishop takes e6. So I wasn't sure like which one was stronger. I mean, this also looked quite tempting because if e6 I have knight e5, knight e5, bishop e5, h5 is falling, and if queen e6 I go like knight d4 here, and this is also, I thought this is very close to winning as well, like queen g6, but I wasn't sure about allowing, let's say, castles. But of course, I mean, white's position is so great that even if I go like queen b3 or something here, I should still win with this pawn on c7. But yeah, I mean, I went bishop d6, queen d7, bishop e6, queen e6, e5. And yeah, he found this idea with king d7, which I think practically is nice because, I mean, I sort of panicked here because I thought if he gets rook a g8, king c8, his king is safe, and then he'll play like rook g6, rook g8, start attacking me. But I think maybe it's just, this knight d4 is a bit too much. Later I considered b4, and I think this is quite good because, okay, let's say like black goes like rook a g8, and you go
play always king h1.
King h1 and like rook. I mean, because the thing is, because king c8, you go a4, b5. But like maybe, I was worried about rook g6 and something like this, but it's probably, probably nothing. I just go knight h4. No, I just play this and then a4, b5. I mean, he'll probably resign soon.
So this knight d4 was the moment.
Yeah, I mean, knight d4 was. Yeah. I mean, this is just a horrible decision. I spent like 10 minutes to like this is inexplicable. I should not make.
When did you realize?
Yeah, I was just going to ask, how much of this was calculation? Because you were impressing us all with all the speed with which you're going through with variations. But yeah, were you calculating at this point, or were you trying to feel your way through some of the complications?
Trying to calculate, like, of course, if you can find a direct solution, this would be nice. But of course, I mean, knight d4, such moves are. I mean, if it's a horrible move positionally. I mean, the thing was, I kind of relied on that. Like, let's say if he goes knight takes d4, c takes d4, rook a g8. If I go king h1, king c8, he has some attack with knight g5. But I thought I can just queen. I just give up this pawn, and okay, if king c8, rook c1, queen f3, and if rook c8, queen f3, like you're not surviving this. b7 is falling, d5, rook c1, everything is coming. And I kind of, actually what happened was when I went knight d4, I missed this knight f6 from afar. I'd seen that, because I saw queen d5, and I thought this was quite natural. Check, queen e6, takes, and I thought I can go like f4, and this looked pretty winning.
Of course, yeah. You're just pushing.
I mean, I have 5 pawns, like f5 also, like this is. But the problem is he got knight f6 and this knight came into the game. Now I think actually after here, black, I'm not sure if he's entirely fine, but also this knight d5 kind of surprised me. I thought he would go knight e8. If bishop a3, knight c7, he gets to knight to d5, it's like up by a pawn compared to the game. f5, knight d6. I mean, I was calculating some such lines like king c7. And instead of e d6, rook d6, I was wondering if I can try this one. So I'm threatening d5. But I think actually black survives with this. This is nice prophylaxis against d5, and I don't.
Taking on d6 is also bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably get the pawns. It'll be a draw, but nothing more than that. But yeah, you went knight d5, f5, ef5, rook f5, knight d4, rook f7, king
When did you realize that you can come back? I mean, not come back in the game, but come back into the winning position.
Yeah, I mean, this time period was frustrating because I knew I'd blown my entire position. I was just trying to somehow keep up the pressure. But I think even here I messed up. Like, okay, rook g8, he started threatening all this knight e3, so I thought g4 is quite logical. But yeah, now after knight b5 already, like knight takes d6 is a very valid threat. Like rook h7, he went rook g6 to stop rook h6 check. I mean, the knight takes d6, I think, I wasn't able to fully refute this. Maybe there's some win here, but like with like rook d1 and so on, but somehow everything was a bit confusing for me, but like rook g5, let's say he just defends this. Yeah. I mean, of course, white minimum has a draw with c8, rook b7, but if you don't have more than that, then it's a bit painful.
Rook g6 was played?
But yeah, rook g6, rook f7, and I mean, around here I was starting to wonder, like, okay, this is, maybe this is still equal, like black has things under control, but it looks very scary. I have 2 rooks on the 7th rank, this pawn on c7, bishop on d6 is still alive. He went rook c8, rook d7, rook h6. I mean, this rook h6 is nice. Of course, I had seen this, but okay. I mean, I didn't know how else to avoid this, so I had to go for this. Rook g7. He went rook takes h3. I mean, I think this is also fine. I mean, I was planning to go rook gf7 and maybe somehow keep on fighting. But yeah, I mean, rook takes h3. I'm not sure if this is the final mistake. I mean, we were both playing on like, we both had time trouble and we were playing some very questionable moves. I mean, a4 I thought was interesting, so I can like kind of just kick away this knight on b5, and once this knight
take on d6.
Yeah, he's just e d6 and so on. So like bishop knight d4, bishop c5, now, okay, I have all these threats with rook d6, rook g5 check, and I mean, this is where I started getting excited, because I thought like knight f3, I go king g2, knight f4, king f2. Now all of a sudden you have to deal with rook e7 mate.
Wow.
And now, and also this is a nice mate.
Oh, beautiful. Wow.
But yeah, you went knight e2, king f1. I mean, of course, when you're playing such positions on seconds, it's kind of like you're kind of guessing on which square to go to. You can't really see everything to the end. Like after knight e2, I think king f1 is a nice decision because let's say like after the game knight ef4, he doesn't have knight d3 check.
No checks anymore. Yeah.
So bishop d4. Okay, now rook d6 check is the threat. Check, king e1, knight d3, king d2. Yeah, I mean this is also. I mean he's very tricky and resourceful.
He was always trying to find some resource too.
Because like here, if I go king e2, this is just a blunder. Takes, and rook e3, and then rook takes e5, and he survives. So I went king d2, knight e5, takes, rook g5. I mean, the thing is I spent like 5 minutes on bishop takes e5 because, I mean, after like time control, I was just trying to adjust. I mean, during the time control, I was in some very, it was very, very intense moments. So, okay, I just decided to go to the bathroom, wash my face, come back to the board, and then, I mean, of course,
start over.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other move other than bishop takes e5, but still, I felt I was just needed to mentally reset.
Of course.
I mean, yeah, here this is also another decision like rook g take or rook d take. I mean, I wasn't sure on whether this is winning, and I also didn't see the reason why to go for this. Like, I mean, okay, maybe there's some situation where this could be winning, but I mean, I think what I did was a lot simpler. So rook g.
Of course, pawn on c7 is so much stronger.
He could have actually taken this, but I think I have check here, takes, and this is. I mean, I included this check so the king's on d6 instead of d5, and now. Okay, I'm threatening rook b6 check, and I thought with 2 pawns up, this should be winning. I mean, you still have to be a bit careful not to allow rook f4 and some forks, but overall, it should be nice. Okay, you went rook b3, check. I mean, I just repeated once, get a bit more time. Then I went with this rook d6 check, and I thought this was a nice solution. Because here, I just give up the b2 pawn, but I keep this pawn on c7 and this other pawn on g4, and he's tied down. Now the other thing is, if this pawn ever reaches g7, like black can just resign. Like that's what happened, because you don't have one rook on c8 is already passive, and with rook d8 like everywhere, you don't have counterplay. So okay, I went g5, king f5, rook d5 check. I mean, if you play some move like king g6, I thought I go like let's say rook c5, I start to turn rook d8, so he goes rook h8, and even if I just do this, I just stop b6, and now I just bring the king up to b6 and. Okay, you can probably resign here too, it's not...
And what was the final critical moment in the game when you already realized fully that you're winning?
I think this is like when he he started spending like 15 minutes here. I mean, of course, I know I was winning, but I mean, from here, I saw till the absolute end. Like, he played check, king b2, king f5, and I thought, okay, this rook g7 is the easiest. I started threatening rook d8, and okay, then my pawn came to g6. And also, if you try to stop me, I can just go rook g2 and this board is too short because I'm threatening rook h7.
And then the other pawn is coming.
Yeah.
And
okay, I just got my pawn to g7. And of course, you just have to be a bit careful, like not to allow any tricks here. Like, okay, I mean, there's this like brief idea of doing this, but unfortunately my rook is on f2, so okay, my queen, check, king a2, check, but I can go king b1.
Oh, and you're hiding with the rook, so
yeah, I mean, this is
no
probably,
tricks.
Yeah, I mean, that was nice that my rook is optimally placed, and based on that, he didn't see any more tricks, so he resigned.
Truly, I mean, amazing game, of course, with some mistakes, definitely. Abhimanyu, I mean, huge congratulations one more time.
Thank you.
How do you feel now with, win in the tournament against the world champion? How is the Grand Swiss going for you?
Yeah, this is going better than I could have possibly imagined. I mean, I'm gaining already like something like 20 points. This is really nice. I mean, now actually I think I might have a chance. Like if I keep up this form, I actually have a very real chance of winning the tournament. Because I feel like yesterday I drew against Prague, today, and in that game also I made some issues. I made some mistakes, but throughout the game I never felt like I was really inferior against these players. Like I think I'm at par with my recent flow and with how things are going. Like I just need to fix these kind of like horrible issues like with like knight d4, but if you exclude these kind of moves, I think I'm at par with even the top of the top.
What ambitions, what motivations, Johan, come here, do you have any questions to?
Yeah, I was just going to say congratulations. I mean, I'm absolutely stunned by how well you calculate. Can you tell us a little bit about your training routine?
Yeah, I mean, I usually do a lot of like for example, like this game, like once I go back to the hotel, I'm going to like that's the whole reason I turned off the engine. So I'm going to train all this again. Like I'm pretty sure like okay, like while such game is going on, like my dad he analyzes it with our engine. Like that's the same thing that happened yesterday. Like once the game is over, we'll have all the mistakes in the game. Like he'll have it, and we brought a board. So we'll set up the same position on the board, and I'll reattempt like let's say the moves that I messed up, and this helps me like reinforce like everything that I've missed, and it helps me become a better player overall.
Wow, and will you be celebrating at all this big win?
There's one more game left, maybe on the rest day, but as of now, like, I need to keep. I mean, tomorrow's game might be against Arjun, so that could be very fun.
Oh, good luck for that one. Mira, do you have a question?
Wow, no, I'm just like impressed with the amount of stuff you, young generation, are calculating. That's absolutely
with the work
amazing.
ethic.
Yeah,
work
totally.
ethic that you're having to chess.
Well, congratulations, and we hope that you have more success and that you visit us again in the studio.
Thank you. I'll be back.
Thank you. We look forward to it. Wow, thank you very much, Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu Mishra beating Gukesh.